Should I be drinking an Alani at 9:33 at night? No. It's mini, so it doesn't count, right? She's good. She's a good girl. What is wrong with you? Anyhow, hello, my sweet cheeks. Welcome back to another monthly wrap up. You guys let me know what books you guys read this month. I'm always super intrigued to see what you guys are up to and what y'all are reading. Let's do a little bit of stats before we get into it. I read a total of 6 books this month. 3 were audiobook and the other 3 were physical / Kindle. 2 were young adult dystopian, 1 was fantasy, 1 was a thriller, and 1 was a romance. We did read a total of 2,438 pages. Started off the month with Listen for the Lie by Amy and Tara. I listened to this on audio, and when I tell you guys, the audio for this so freaking good. It literally sounds like you're listening to a podcast. It even has like background music to the podcast. We are following a podcast who is covering the mystery of who killed Savi. The last person to see this girl before she died was her best friend, but her best friend has no recollection of that night, or so she says. When I tell you guys, this was so good. I gave this a 4 stars. This is such a good thriller, like mystery. It even has like a dabble of romance in there, which at points I was like, wait a minute. Is this a romance? Or is this a thriller? I absolutely ate it up. It just felt like I was listening to my normal, like, true crime podcast. Definitely a win. And I cannot believe I've had this on my shelf since literally March of 2024. And it's just been sitting there, looking at me, watching me read other books. Then, as you guys saw, I let TikTok pick my reads for a week. And if you have it, I'll have it linked right here. For that video, TikTok did in fact make me read Flock by Kate Stewart. How have I not read this sooner? I get it. Like, you guys are always hyping up this book, and I get it. I gave this a 4.5. I was staying up till 2 in the morning trying to finish this book. I completely devoured this book. I will say the first little chunk of this book was kind of hard to get in. Not hard to get into, but you know, like once you're starting a new book and it's kind of just like you're trying to grasp what's going on, it kind of had that feeling. But boy, oh boy, by the time I got not even halfway through, I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? I was completely freaking out, rightfully so. If you have not read Flocked, listen to me now. If you don't listen to anything else I say, go read Flocked. We are literally following Cecilia. She moves into this new town to live with her dad because in order to inherit his inheritance, technically, she needs to work at his factory for a year before she goes off to college. Then Miss Cecilia meets her supervisor and things just start popping off from there. This is the first book in the Ravenhood series, and I have heard people just like crying and sobbing in the next 2 books, and I'm so scared. Your girl's scared. I'm scared. So you guys can try to convince me in the comments to continue reading the series because I'm terrified of the next 2 books. Also, for that video, I read Last Party by A.R. Torres, I believe. That was a ride. I also listened to this one, rated it a 3. I would recommend it. It was a good thriller. My jaw was on the floor most of that freaking book because things just like kept coming out of everywhere. I don't even really know how to sum up this book to even start to explain what it's about. It's just insane. It was giving Verity vibes. It's not the same plot and stuff as Verity. It's just giving those vibes. I think that it was a lot of like whiplash. Didn't really understand sometimes like where it was going, and the ending was a little bit predictable, and for that reason I gave it a 3. But a 3 is still really good. Like, I like the book, I would recommend it. It just wasn't my absolute favorite. Let's move on. I started The Hunger Games, which was also for another video. Shameless plug. Finally, after how long have these books been out? 50 years? I was so excited to start these books. I did annotate them. I'm not done with this half. I literally have all my annotations on my Kindle ready for me to just transfer over. But this was so good. I gave this a 4.75. I loved this. It gave me so much more background to the movies. Now I actually rewatched the movies and I'm upset at the movies because why does PETA have a leg? Let's talk about that. I'm so concerned. I love this. The only reason that it's not a 5-star is because I feel like there was some point where my brain was just elsewhere and it could totally be a me thing and me just not focusing. But for that reason, there was some parts where I was just kind of like, speed it up, friends. Speed it up. Still completely, absolutely loved it. And I have a feeling this is going to be like a top tier series. Then obviously I had to go straight into Catching Fire. Now this bitch right here, 5 stars. I loved every moment of this. I loved it, which is insane because Catching Fire the movie, not my favorite. Not my favorite. I feel like the arena, like, it was good, but I was kind of like, eh. Catching Fire the book, she ate. She had my heart racing and pounding, even though you bitch already knew what was going to happen. Tell me how. Tell me. It took me a little bit to get into at the beginning, like the first like 10%. I was kind of like, what are we doing? The moment that New Guard comes into District 12, I was like, oh, I'm hooked. Oh, he's raising hell. Oh, shit. Suzanne Collins, you know what you're doing, girl, and please keep doing it. You do you, boo, you know? Unfortunately, I did also start Mockingjay, but I did not get to finish, so she will be on next month's wrap up. But so far, I think we're barely starting to pick up the pace. I feel like I'm about 25% in, and she took a little bit to get there, but we're getting there, I hope. And last but not least, we read, not we, me. Not you.
Not Hermione, you.
I need to stop. I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. Why is that a mouthful? I don't know. But I ate this book up. When I say ate, I mean ate. Licked the plate, left no crumbs. The audiobook on this is so amazing. It was great to listen to. It completely sucks you in. Following a couple of women through a them now timeline. There is a Regency era, there's a like 2019 era, there is, honestly, Regency is the one that stood out the most for me, so that's all I really remember. This book was a 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. The way that I would just sit on my phone and play games so that I could listen to this, I literally started cleaning just so I would have something to do to listen to this. I don't know how I haven't picked up a V. Schwab book. This is going to be a holy grail. In the end, I was tearing up. Tearing up. There were tears in my eyes. Vampires, Regency era, lesbians. What more could you ask for? Nothing. Literally nothing. There is nothing better. Now, we are going to do my TBR for the month. I want to start including these in my wrap up since I will only do about 3 or 4 books just because A, I'm really bad at sticking to a TBR, and B, I read, like, I think the most I've read in a month is probably like 8 books. So I don't want to overcommit myself and try to make this a habit. So maybe we can do bigger TBRs in the future. Doki Artichokey. I have found a TBR wheel and she is massive. Someone put a shit ton of prompts on there. Let's see what we get. I don't even know what's in here. Oh, no. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say no, but no. Historical fiction. Well, Oh, this is gonna be hard. I don't think that I have a lot of historical fiction, but I want to say Kite Runner and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a historical fiction, right? Am I wrong? Let's ask the Googles. Aha! It is a historical fiction. Okay. And I know for a fact. Well, do I? Once again, let's consult the Google. Aha! I was correct again. Okay. So between these two, I want to say I'm more inclined to read The Invisible Light. But I've also had a kite runner for a while. I think we're going to go Invisible Life. Because I just read a V. Schwab and that bitch was amazing. So hopefully we'll have the same exact outcome. Let's go with that. Okay, two more. That wasn't too bad. We shall spin again. A book about travel. I don't know. Guys, sometimes I really be picking my books by the front cover, so I don't really know what they're about. A book about travel. Let me think. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with Till Summer Do Us Part. Technically, they're traveling to a summer camp. Does that count? The only other one that I could think of is The People We Meet on Vacation, but I didn't feel like pulling that one out because it's like stuck all the way over there. So I think we're gonna do Till Summer Do Us Part because I said so. Last spin, because this is a short TBR. I don't want to be a liar and then not read all these books. I still probably will be a liar and not read any of these books. But I might. We got a 50-50 chance. 40-60 chance. 60-40 chance. Okay, last spin. Let it be a good one. Out of comfort zone. I feel like I don't really have anything out of my comfort zone. I'll try anything. Give it to me, I'll try it. I think I got the perfect one. Pet Cemetery by Stephen King. I don't think I've definitely never written anything. I don't think I've read a horror book. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Was Hidden Pictures a horror book? Off topic. I really haven't read any horror, and I also haven't read any Stephen King. So let's do Pet Cemetery. I don't understand how this is going to be scary. It's possessed pets. I don't really get the scariness behind it because you think I'm gonna be scared of a ghost cat? You're wrong. I can fight a ghost cat. I can't fight a ghost, but a ghost cat? Bring it on. I don't understand how that's gonna be scary, but I guess we will see. Maybe I'll be terrified. Maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe I don't want to fight a possessed demon cat. Who knows? Only time will tell. Yes, that is all for me today. I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye.